5 years away from one spouse retiring. In parentheses, the other will retire 2 years after that. In general, what are your thoughts on focusing on paying off the current mortgage, $88,000, versus contributing to a Roth IRA during that time period? We can't do both. Our original thought was that we wanted to get rid of the mortgage since it would closely match the cost of our monthly Medicare premiums that will kick in 5 years. 5 years doesn't seem like a very big time horizon for growth or decline, I assume, in the market, of Roth contributions. So we thought we'd attack the mortgage balance. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this is an important question. So there's always a lot of things that go into, like, should I pay off the mortgage or not? On the pure math side, one is simply, what's your mortgage rate? These days, some folks have mortgage rates that are significantly below what treasury bonds are paying. And so that really speaks to,
Wait, can you, that's a good question. It comes up every once in a while. The piece about paying off mortgage versus treasury bonds and how there's a little kind of analysis with that.
Well, yeah, I mean, if a mortgage is like a negative bond, instead of paying you interest, you're paying it interest. But if my mortgage rate, just to say, is 3%, but I could buy a bond that yields 4%, rather than paying off the mortgage, I might as well put those funds into a bond paying 4%, make the mortgage payment at 3%, and have an extra 1% left over. That's kind of the logic there. And that's on the pure math side. On the behavioral side, some people really don't like having a mortgage. And so if you just will sleep better at night and feel more comfortable paying down the mortgage, that's probably more important than any of the math considerations. It can also speak to your retirement style. That if you want the peace of mind of not having a mortgage, that's probably the first consideration. If you're really more flexible about whether or not you have the mortgage, and you're just really asking mathematically, what's the best approach to take? Well, that's where, okay, going back to where we started, depends on the mortgage rate you have. But also, like, if you're comfortable having the mortgage, unless the rate is too high, the odds are that you could probably earn a higher rate of return on investing than you could on the mortgage. And the putting money into the Roth, that's one of those things where you never get a chance to redo it. Like, any year you don't make the Roth contribution, you're just going to have less money in the Roth. So it's not just about what would the investment return be in that next year, 5-year window that we're talking about, but really, what's the lifetime impact of having more money in a Roth and having that additional tax diversification and flexibility. And that gets more into the whole tax planning over the lifetime type conversation. So that being said, again, behaviorally, are you comfortable with a mortgage or not? If not, that definitely, there's no problem with paying off a mortgage. If you're fine having the mortgage, that probably does speak more. If you are more total returns in this regard, potentially leaning more towards building up that Roth while you're able to. And then you can always pay down that mortgage later. And if you get into a tax situation where you need to be able to meet those fixed mortgage payments, but you don't want to generate taxable income to do that, those funds could always come back out of the Roth at that point to make those mortgage payments.